You are listening to episode 72 of the Peaceful Mind Podcast. Welcome to the Peaceful Mind Podcast, a place for creating the peace of mind you need to be the best mom you were created by God to be. If you want to bring more balance, more joy, and more peace to your motherhood, this is the place for you. I'm your host, certified life coach and Catholic mom, Danielle Thienel. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, let's get started. Well, hello and welcome. Just a quick PSA at the beginning of the episode to remind you that the enrollment for the January life coaching group is going to be closing soon. So if you are interested, go ahead and check out the show notes to learn more about the offer that I have for you to join me and change your life in this next new year. Okay, I'm so excited. This episode today is going to be short and sweet. And I know sometimes I say that and it ends up being longer than I entail, but I want to make it just very impactful and to leave you with just some couple thoughts for you to carry with you during this next week and let it sit and just contemplate, okay? So I titled it 100% Guaranteed. And what I want you to focus on is, what would you take on in your life? What would you go after? What would you make actions towards if you knew that the results would be 100% guaranteed for you? Like it was going to happen, okay? You were going to achieve it. And you knew without a doubt. Then what would change about your life? What would you let go of and what would you concentrate and put your energy on and focus? And I want you to know that that is a viable option for you if you just started to believe you were going to have it or feel it or get it or accomplish it no matter what. And let's just even go to the place where you do go after it and it doesn't pan out and you don't get the result that you wanted. You know who holds that guarantee that the journey on your way there was fruitful or worth it, or it taught you a whole bunch more than you didn't know before you tried, and that it was useful because you learned something about yourself, or maybe it was even that you thought you wanted that result, but really, now that you tried, it isn't. And wouldn't that also be worth it? So why not go into what it is that you want with just believing that you're going to 100% guarantee yourself you will get that result? It's kind of like that, when they say that the only thing that is totally guaranteed is death and taxes, right? It's kind of true, right? We know that all of us are going to die, that it is inevitable. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed we will. And yet we don't look at that as like, oh, okay, well, if that's going to happen anyway, I might as well not even try to live my life. I might as well just, kind of hang out and just kind of wait until that day comes. No, we go about growing and learning and having adventures and experiencing things. And we focus on what it is that we want. And we do it even though we know that one day we're going to die. And then that whole taxes thing. Yeah. When we just say, yeah, this is something that is going to happen no matter what, then instead of fighting it, we want to step into where, yeah, it's just part of the territory and I'm going to pay my taxes. But I want you to look at this 100% guaranteed question as, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? As a side note, I speak that question, and in particular the word fail, as if I was using the old definition that I used to have about failing, where you didn't reach your goal, you didn't get what you thought was guaranteed, or it feels terrible and you just missed the mark and definitely just were defeated and did it all wrong, right? When we used to get F's on our paper, it gave us this meaning, right? That we were a failure, that we failed this particular test or quiz or whatever it was. But as a life coach, I no longer have that definition of fail that I've mentioned here before on the podcast, in that when we quote fail, it's actually a good thing. It's a good thing because you're either going to win or you are going to learn. And in learning, you gather up so much more evidence that gives you the map and the way to what it is that you do want. So the more times you fail, the more you are back on the path to get to where you want to go sooner. But when I worded this question, when we're trying to look at what you would do if it was 100% guaranteed, I'm kind of looking at the old definition of failure. What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? If you knew that what endeavor you would step into would be a total success and you would reach the peak of the mountain and you would have that whatever feeling it is that you're after when you get this goal. And that's what I want you to contemplate this week, because you can just take on this attitude and this mentality in your life and know that along the way to achieving what it is that you want, it will feel so much better for you if you just believed it was inevitable that you would get there and achieve it. Now, some things that kind of have reoccurred when I have some goal setting with my clients, and the first thing that usually the brain does is that it looks to your past for evidence of what you are capable of doing in your future. And this is a thought error. This is where we have to redirect our brain. This is where I help you see that no, the past has no bearing on your future. Because what you're thinking about today and what you're focusing your mind on today is what creates your future. And so we want to say, no, brain, yes, that happened in the past, but it doesn't mean anything. Like I had, done several businesses before in my life, before I took on this life coaching endeavor. And if you kind of, compared them all, they were in different levels and they created different results. And I might say, oh, my vision for this current one is so great, but I've never done it before. And I've never done one that was online, right? And so I didn't set myself up thinking like, oh, I've never done this in the past, so that probably means I won't be able to do it in the future. No, I just was of the mindset that this is what I want to think and believe, what I'm capable of right now, and then just go forward, really focusing my thoughts in a way that's like, yeah, what would I do today? What action would I take today if I knew that 100% guaranteed that this business, this helping people change their mental and emotional health would be a roaring success? And then I want to say that how I talked about the word fail, if you are someone who is afraid of failing, this is also where I want you to have a shift in perspective about going after something or accomplishing something for yourself, is that failing doesn't have to be a problem. Yeah? When we think that we will allow fear to hold us back, I want you to know that fear is just a feeling that you can handle. And failing is no big deal. It's actually the greatest learning tool. So It just means that you have to feel uncomfortable. If you're afraid of failing, it's literally just the fear, which is a vibration in your body, which does pass. And you actually have felt before, right? And survived it. And so just know and be on to yourself when you're not going after something because of this fear of feeling fear is really what it is. I want you to look at what you would have to be afraid of as being 100% guaranteed that you would be able to do it and feel fear at the same time, and it wouldn't be a problem. If it was 100% guarantee, if you knew that even if you, quote, failed a couple times, that you would also then still get the results that you wanted, what would you then do and go after? So going into this next year, I want you to know that you have the best safety net ever. That with whatever you want, whatever you've tried, are willing to try and give your best at, the safety net is that the worst case scenario is you go for something and you'll have to endure a negative feeling. And I want to empower you that that is not a reason to avoid negative feelings, is not a good enough reason for you to not go after it. But having the mentality that what you want is 100% guaranteed is something that's available for you to choose and believe. And just try it. Try it with the small things and see how this shift in your mind that you can be the one who guarantees it for yourself that you get to where you want to go. And that is true for all of us. If we have our own back, if we know that failing isn't truly failing, it's winning or learning, and that we can feel negative feelings that we felt them before, and that we can feel them again, and that we get to guarantee our own success and our own results by the way we choose to think about it. And so that is what I want you to take this week and going in to the weeks to come as we set goals and decide what it is that we want and kind of refocus and evaluate like our lives. I want you to know, what would you do and go after if it was 100% guaranteed for you that you would achieve it? Okay, my friends, I love you all. I'm so grateful for you joining me here in this capacity. And check out the show notes for all that is going on. Thank you again for joining me on the Peaceful Mind podcast, and I hope you have the most blessed week. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Peaceful Mind podcast. Are you ready to take everything I teach you here and put it to work for your own life? To really learn how to have peace of mind no matter what is happening around you? If so, I'd love to have you as a client. As your coach, this is where you'll get personal and focused time on your own mind using life coaching tools, concepts, and proven life-transforming wisdom, all through a faith-filled lens. To learn more about how we can work together, come on over to DanielleTienel.com. There, you'll see how to sign up for a free coaching consult and learn how to get started. Until next time, peace be with you always.